before we start, I have a couple of things I want to tell you guys to help you guys save a pretty decent amount of money. For the oil, you do not need to use a Nissan brand. I will show you a screenshot from my owner's manual. It tells you you can use the Nissan or the equivalent, which happens to be full synthetic 75W90 for the rear, and the front is just regular 80W90 Valvoline. But the reason you can use these ones is because if you look on the back, they are, well, if I get on there, they are API GL5, API GL4, GL5 right there, and that is why they are compatible, because they have those stamps on them. Now, for the washers, these cost $5 a piece if you buy them from Nissan. However, I did a little bit of digging on Amazon. They were selling for 19 bucks, and I just searched this part number right here, the DW81, and I messaged the seller because he had another one, same part number, but it says it's for Dodge Cummins. I said, why are these only 8 bucks and they're for a different car? I said they're the same part number. He goes, oh, there's no difference, they're the same. So he was just marking it up because he said it was for a Pathfinder. So you can get 10 of these washers for only $8, which saves you quite a bit of money if you're paying 5 bucks per washer, and this will save you if you ever change it again. We are going to start on the rear differential. So what we are going to need is this full synthetic 75W90 Valvoline. We've got our little fluid siphon pump right here, and then we've got our drain pan, we've got our washers. You want a 10mm hex bit. We got ourselves a ratchet and possibly a torque wrench if we can't get it off by hand. Well, this is take 2 because I could not get this off yesterday for the life of me. So we sprayed the crap out of it with WD-40 on both of the plugs. So hopefully I can get it at least started today. Okay, so now of course I've broken the bolt loose and I did not get it on video. So just to tell you guys what I did, yesterday I was trying to get this plug out right here, and for the life of me I could not get it out. So I sprayed it with WD-40, let it sit overnight, and I tried it again today. So I actually put up my torque wrench to it because I could not get it out with the ratchet by hand. I had my extension on my ratchet trying to create a little bit more leverage, and that didn't work. So I used a torque wrench to put it on 30 foot per pound, and I actually broke it loose. And you guys don't think I'm crazy for doing this, but with the plug I couldn't get the 10mm socket in all the way. So what I did was I put the hex bit right here, I put an extension in it, and then all I did was, once I had that in there, I actually started just tapping into that to kind of push it in deeper into the plug. All I did was, I guess I can take this off now, but so all I did was I put the extension right in there with the hex bit, and I literally just started tapping it with the ratchet, and then I just used my hand to kind of press on it really hard, and I pressed it so much that I got this kind of stuck in there. I mean, you can see it has a little bit of wiggle room still, but I got the hex bit more so into the plug, and then that allowed me to have it not stripping out the bolt, because it was rounding it when I was taking it out, but when I hit it in, it made it more snug in there, and then I was able to actually loosen it. So now, as you can see, it's spinning around freely. So now I got the fill plug loose, and now we can take it all apart. We're going to take it off, drain it a little bit. Doesn't look like anything's coming out of it. It's kind of weird. Must really be empty. Okay, so there's our fill plug. Got the fill plug out. Definitely need to replace the washer, and then See if I get that out. Okay, and now we're just going to take off the drain plug now. I can get this off. Okay, so since the only way that I could get this bolt out was to beat it in, now I got the hex bit stuck in it. I'm gonna put the old washer back in. Put this back in. I'm not gonna torque it down. I'm just gonna use my ratchet right here. Just move it back and forth to hopefully try and break it loose. There we go. And like that, we got it popped out. Now I'm gonna show you guys the end of this, just because, well, I guess it doesn't look too bad, but as you can see, it's rounded out in some spots on it, so it's not the best looking bolt, but we got it out. So that's how you get it out after you beat it in. So now we're gonna repeat the same process for the drain plug. However, we got a good fit right there. It's pretty snug, so we're gonna see if we can take it out like this, and if that doesn't work, so now it's on 50 pounds. Fucking better brake. Oh my gosh. And it did break loose on 50. Okay. Now we're just getting our drain pan. Back it out. And let it drain. Okay, all we're doing now while the oil is draining is we're just gonna clean off our old bolts that we had. So we're just gonna wipe them off really good, and then I'm putting on thread locker because it was such a pain in the ass to take those bolts off. In the future, thread locker actually makes it easier for disassembly. So we got our new washers, made sure that all of them fit. We're gonna put on this thread locker so that if we ever gotta do it again in the future, it'll be pretty easy disassembly. Well, easier disassembly. Okay, so we got our washer on here. Any on the top of the bolt. That thread locker right back. Okay. I'm not too sure what's on it might work. I don't know what'll happen in this thread lock. Let's try it really quick. So now we got our other drain plug this time. Put our little washer on it. Then we're gonna put a little bit of thread sealant. And just rub it around there. Okay, so now we did that, we're going to put these back on, and then we're going to start pumping our oil. As we're just putting our plugs back on. This is the drain plug. We've got our thread seal on it. We're just going to put it right back in there. And remember, all of it, the front and the back, is torqued to 26 foot per pound. But I'll be doing the front in another video. just so we got a little bit more time doing each individually, because I feel like it helps you guys when I have a problem. So now that we have our drain plug in, all we're going to do is tighten it back down to 26 foot per pound. You can use a torque wrench or you can do it by hand. It's very similar to doing your oil change. Okay, so remember we have our washer in, we've got our thread seal on. Now we're just tightening this back down to 26 foot per pound. Do not want to over tighten it. I'm just getting it pretty snug on there. I'm not using the torque wrench because whoever did it in the past really jacked it up. So I'm just doing that by feel. Now we're gonna do the oil. Now I just want to show you guys how that fluid pump works before I get to doing it. So I get this one from Harbor Freight. If you have a little simple hand one like this, the arrow points the direction you want the liquid to flow. So we're going to put this, this side into our oil. We're going to put this side where the arrow is pointing. See, the arrow is pointing this way, so we use this side and we put that into the top of our differential. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on top of this. As I have the tube in the oil, I'm putting my finger on the opposite side. I'm going to give the pump a squeeze. What that is going to do is squeeze out the remaining air in there. And then I'm going to slide this into the differential, let go, and then it's all just going to pump out and gravity's going to do it by itself. And you want to hold your oil above where the differential is so it goes down. Okay, now just showing you guys what I'm doing. I've actually got this set up on a bucket and do the method that I showed you, like holding the end of the nozzle with your finger. And then all I'm doing is just continuously pumping this by hand. It pulls it out of there and pushes it in there, and I'm just doing it until it starts coming out of the top of the differential. And yeah, just keep squeezing the bulb. Also, another tip, guys, when you're pumping this, when you have the tube in there, the higher you hold it up from the differential, the quicker it'll flow. Up higher, the bucket worked all right, but it was more level with the differential. So I'm under my car right now, so what I did was took it off of the bucket, actually hold it up about this high, and that helped it pump a lot better. And then to tell when I was done pumping it, I waited until I had a solid stream of water trickling out of the differential, and then I went under really quick, and then I put the fill plug back in, and then once I got the fill plug in, I just wiped everything off, and then now I'm just going to torque it back down to 26 foot per pound, and that'll be it. Also, when you're taking the siphon out of the oil, you don't want to be getting it everywhere, so take the side where the arrow is pointing, so the side that's in the differential, hold it straight up in the air, and then simply take the side that was in the differential, put it back in your oil canister and hold it upright, and then it'll all flow back right back into your oil thing, so you're not getting oil all over the place. And as you can see, I didn't get any on the ground in my car, maybe 1 or 2 drops, so just so you're not getting oil all over the place.